We didn't expect one of the episodes to blow up that much, but I mean, undoubtedly, out of all our episodes, the one that blew up was the one with Jeremy Evans, the man who survived a really vicious bear attack. That was, what was it, our third interview that we did?
Yeah.
If we want to say, yeah, the third person that we interviewed, and his episode just blew up. So many people connected with his story, and yeah, that was one of them that just put us out onto the map there. Went viral, almost maybe too viral to our own detriment in a way where it was just that our channel was just about the bear attack, and it's kind of tough to break out of that cycle.
Yeah, but I think the reason why people just resonated with that episode so much is this, like, you know, just Jeremy's outlook on life. You know, you could tell like he was so like open to our questions, and he, you know, his outlook on life is great despite all the, you know, the dark moments he's been through, right? He was just, you know, like, if you guys are not familiar who Jeremy Evans is, basically he's a man from Calgary, Alberta, that went hunting into the wilderness, basically. Like, it was like 3 a.m, I think. And it was, you know, he took his bike into basically the woods, and he got mauled by a bear 3 times during that you know, hunting trip. And basically he was attacked 3 times. He contemplated suicide during that event. He didn't go through with it, luckily for us, you know. And he had to hike out like 12 kilometers after the fact to just get to a lodge, and then they brought him to safety at a hospital, and they started working on him and doing all these procedures, you know.
Yeah, it took like a whole day. He was attacked around like 9-10 a.m. in the morning. He had to trek across the whole, you know, like way back, drive his car, go get to a lodge, and then transported by helicopter to a hospital. His story is just mind-blowing. Like, there's just no other stories like his of a bear attack specifically that is that insane.
Yeah, it's just wild because, yeah, I think that's what makes it that story so great. It's just like the will to survive, you know?
Yeah.
Like, where do you hear of someone that gets mauled 3 times, just bleeding, like uncontrollably from like everywhere practically? His face was like completely dismantled. Then he had to basically walk with broken limbs.
Yeah.
Like, and he
fall
kept falling.
constantly.
Yeah, he kept falling down like the trail.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he fell
fell
like
down
a couple
a
hundred
cliff,
feet
I
or
think,
something.
yeah.
So he fell down a couple hundred feet, and then he just kept going with that Baby Shark song, right?
Oh yeah.
And then, yeah, miraculously he made it back to his truck, and then he had to drive basically blind to the hospital.
Yeah, with one of his eyes hanging down out of his socket, where he had to tilt his head up like this to be able to see. Like, how insane is that?
That is insane. Yeah, he said exactly. He said he had to like grab his eye, put it in the right direction, so that he could just drive properly. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You know, people stub their toes and they're done. You know, they don't want to move at all.
Yeah, but that's why just like the outpour of like nice comments on that video was cool to see. You know, a lot of people resonated with his story, and I think he gave a lot of hope to some people that, you know, might be going through other things. I know it gave me hope for what I was going through.
No, definitely. I mean, like, whatever people would be going, if it's mental, if it's physical struggles, adversities, that, you know, the human will is way stronger than we think it is, you know, if we put our minds to it. So, yeah. Very inspirational story. And, you know, the reason that it went viral, you know, it deserved it. And we're happy that his story got put on the map.
Yeah, and I think we're proud of that we were one of the podcasts that were able to, you know, share a story, because I think that story needed to be shared, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I found that story listening to other podcasts, and I was like, I don't get why not more people are talking about this. It was like, I was just shocked when I heard it. Like, I almost had tears to my eyes at some point when I was listening to his story. I read the book, and just the book gives you just like a small glimpse of like what kind of hell he must have gone through, you know?
Just the insanity, that he lived through.
And then he had to go through all the PTSD, right? Like, he was sleeping 12 hours per week at some point, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, the aftermath itself is a whole whole story on its own. The struggles he went afterwards, I think, were even harder. Maybe. I mean, yeah, like the attack obviously was vicious, but just the years it took of rehab and not rehab. I mean, like therapy. Sorry. And getting that special kind of therapy, the ART therapy.
Yeah. Which is another episode that we covered, accelerated resolution therapy. We interviewed Brooke Braylove, who is like a therapist.
It was a good episode.
Yeah,
I liked it,
and she specializes in ART therapy.
Therapy, yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting to learn about that too, and how it changed his life. Because before the ART therapy, he was not able to sleep, or function. He was getting constant flashbacks throughout the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting to learn about the art therapy too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Jeremy thing, the Jeremy episode for us, like it meant a lot because he gave us a chance. Like he came on our podcast. It was kind of like a bit surreal. Like what the heck, like. This guy went through something completely crazy, and we get to like ask him about it.
Yeah, it was an honor to have him on. I wasn't expecting he would, but he did. Because we were still small then. We're still growing. We're not big by any means compared to some other podcasts, but we were much smaller than what we are now.
Yeah,
he's that kind of just genuine, down to earth. He's not after like fame necessarily. He just came on to share a story with us.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Jeremy, right? Like some people were saying that like maybe he's exaggerating part of his story or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just us like sitting down here and talking to him, I could guarantee you that like what he was saying was 100% genuine. He did not lie about anything he said.
No.
And the facts are all written in his book. Like if you want to read it, like all of this is like recounted properly in like medical journals, like what operations he had, what
the people that saw him in the lodge or the nurses and doctors. I mean, they're not going to be lying.
Yeah,
it's not like this happened to him and he got he put himself back and then he's like, hey guys, I went through this crazy thing without anybody seeing what had happened. So I mean, there's always going to be skeptics, whatever, but I think just the majority, 98% of people were very much.
A lot of people were like asking for Jeremy to go on Joe Rogan. That was pretty cool too to see.
Who knows? I think that'll be exciting if one day he does go. I think we'll take a bit of credit.
So Joe, if you see this, get Jeremy on.
Get Jeremy on.
We don't care to be on your podcast. Just get Jeremy.
One day down the line will come.
But another thing I want to talk about Jeremy is the. Like some of the comments as well with the hunting and like how like some people were saying that he deserved that kind of punishment because he was hunting in the first place.
Yeah. There's a bit of those sort of comments I find more where like you messed with nature and you got what you asked for.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is that a lot of people don't understand is like you didn't go to hunt the bears or to attack the bears. You didn't even see them really coming. You just, saw like the baby cubs or just heard them running.
No, he saw them in the sight while he was like
with his
or in his binoculars or something. I think
yeah.
He was like looking because basically it was sheep hunting. He wasn't bear hunting.
Yeah, exactly. It was sheep hunting. Yeah, and then when he saw the cubs, that's when he said, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, like he knew he was in trouble when he saw the cub in his binoculars, and then like. The sow grizzly bear just like kind of came behind
from behind and charged at him real quick. Yeah.
So it's just kind of
and you bullshit, know what? Like the hunting aside, even if he didn't go to hunt the sheep, like people could be hiking and still get attacked. It's like telling those people you got what you asked for.
Yeah, like I don't think like look, some people could agree that like some people may disagree that. Hunting is like
it's a bad thing.
A good thing or whatever, but like I don't think anyone deserves what Jeremy went through.
No,
like not at all. Like I'm sure all these trolls in the comments would not have done as well as Jeremy did because a lot of people say like, oh, he should have done this, should have taken out his gun, he should have like why didn't he carry bear spray? The thing is he was doing all those things. It's just shit happens at the end of the day, right?
No, exactly. Yeah. People are warriors behind their keyboards when it comes to the action, to the moment itself. Well, that's when they're
yeah, exactly. it's always like would have, should have, could have, you know? It's like, oh, I would have done this or I should have done this.
Of course, you're always an
Yeah.
expert in hindsight, but not when it happens.
Yeah, like hindsight is 2020, right? I mean,
exactly.
it's like in the moment, like what better could he have done? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.